Russian soldiers driving self-propelled anti-aircraft guns patrol around the suburb. This is a product of the Cold War of the last century, although it is used against modern aircraft. Maybe a little old, but for various drones, there is still a certain counter effect. There are also various types of air defense equipment operating at the same time. The reason why so much air defense equipment has to be used, mainly the Russian army. About 2, the Ukrainian army in this town in the Kursk region launch an attack in order to avoid several movements captured by the opposing drone. The Russian army is willing to do whatever it takes just to lay down the eyes of the Ukrainian army in the sky. Then the Russian army began his series of operations. The camouflage protection of soldiers firing artillery first, adjust the muzzle direction. Various types of self-propelled artillery and tanks, etc. also started their engines one after another. Drive to the predetermined target location, just waiting for the command to attack. Through the reconnaissance vision of the Russian drone, you can see it. After the Ukrainian reconnaissance drones were knocked out, the soldiers in the town realized that the Russian army is about to launch an attack on it, so they evacuated to the forest of books. This is the martyr of the Ukrainian army, who fought away from the mainland, not carrying enough air defenses. After being blinded, failed to effectively target Russian drones. Air defense counterattack, so much so that he not only became blind, and the movements of several parties. In the eyes of the Russian army, it is clear. To avoid attacking Ukrainian soldiers, enter the depths of the woods to block the view. The Russian army immediately ordered the start of the shelling. For a while, the artillery positions began to get busy. Soldiers were constantly loading ammunition into the fields, even with the constant lifting of heavy loads. The sore arms, don't let up, because once the shelling stops, then the enemy may take advantage of this gap and successfully evacuate it. The same types of tanks, operators of self-propelled artillery, there was constant shelling. But the effect is obvious. All kinds of artillery form a dense firepower network, like the Ukrainian army pouring shells of different calibers. High-value tank armor became their prime target. Secondly, it is the vital force of the Ukrainian army. Under such fire, don't say if you can survive. It is estimated that everyone has to do it piece by piece. When the Ukrainian army's armor was destroyed, then Russian tanks began to enter the town, carry out finishing work. Same time, Russian soldier. It also eliminates living targets simultaneously. Until the soldiers planted the flag on the tall buildings in the town, it was announced that the area had been recaptured. While cleaning up after the war, in the woods where the Ukrainian army withdrew, the Russian soldiers sorted out a lot, standardized weapons of NATO countries, and various kinds of soldier mutilation. However, the Russian army team, not because of the victory of the battle, after all, such a skirmish, in what is now the Kursk region, maybe someday it will be like today, will also fall on their heads.